Good evening and welcome to Coastside Poetry. Thanks to those of you who've zoomed in and those who are watching on YouTube. We meet virtually on the second Tuesday of every month to celebrate spoken poetry. I'm Steve Long, your host for this evening. Our featured poet event is being recorded and streamed live onto YouTube as we speak. So anyone can look at it later. We'll be posting the link on our website, coastsidepoetry.org. This evening, we welcome poet Robert Rubino. Robert is a retired newspaper copy editor and columnist who has written poetry most of his life, but it wasn't until 7 years ago, when he was 70, that his first published piece appeared. Since then, he has published 2 collections, and his poetry has appeared in many online and print journals. Frequent themes found in his poetry include memory and aging, contradictions of daily life, impressions movies leave, and the growing threat of fascism. His in-person feature readings have included Aqus Cafe in Petaluma, Bird and Beckett Books in San Francisco, and Bay Books in Sausalito. His online featured readings have included Oceanside Library in New York and Dan Brady's Sacred Grounds in San Francisco. He's a regular open mic participant at Coastside and numerous other virtual and in-person venues throughout the Bay Area and beyond. Please welcome Robert Rubino.
Thank you, Steve, and thanks to Diane for the invitation. It's an honor to do this, and very pleased to see so many familiar faces. Poetry community that's meant a lot to me over the last several years. I won't spend too much time talking, but I did want to give a shout out to my friend Guy Biederman. I'm glad he's here. Guy, 7 or 8 years ago, I would never be able to do what I'm doing now, reading in public, whether in person or online. And Guy very gently encouraged me and inspired me, and now it's such a big part of my life, I can't imagine not doing it. So I'm going to get right to it and read you my poetry. 77 going on 78. Aware that 3 of your 4 grandparents didn't make it to the age you are now, and the 4th, in her final years, existed as brain alive but stuck in a stroke-froze body, peering out at a withheld, withdrawn world, with eyes desperate for mercies tender or otherwise. And although your mother and father made it to 87 and 93, their quality of life began to sustain cumulative losses, beginning not that many years after the age you are now, as if each's dignity were targeted by a hardcore crew of thieves. 77 going on 78, aware that one of your grade school classmates never reached 20 after reaching Vietnam. And your lifelong best friend, smart and cool and kind and ahead of his time, who became a Joycean scholar, no less, he died at 70. And the former newspaper colleague, the age you are now, clever and curious pro-union feminist wordsmith, engulfed by grief's demons, well, she perished on purpose, leaping off a Bodega Bay cliff to the unforgiving rocks far below. 77 going on 78, pleasantly surprised how lucky you are to have love and kindness in your life, friendships and marriage and supportive siblings and communities of fellow writers. And now deep into your 13th year of retirement, more creative, more relaxed than ever, and sober 24/7, pleasantly surprised by the relative good health that allows daily yoga and Land's End hikes with a Golden Gate backdrop. unpleasantly unsurprised this relative good health doesn't require check-ins with scary-sounding specialists, previously never given a thought, and whose neutral textbook realism often seems like either overdressed optimism or naked pessimism. Art appreciation. I don't look for faces or for creatures fantastical when I look at daytime sky. When I look at daytime sky, I glimpse the artist's studio, spilled paint, bold brushstrokes, backlit canopy, blue blank canvas, splashes, slashes, strokes, streaks, swirls and smears, black, white, rouge, hues, pillows, billows, great grays galore. Abstractions, the attractions, when I look at daytime sky. Feel like falling, flying, floating, face first into that canopy, that splendor, that vision, breathless to behold. Oceanic countdown. We hiked the straight as a razor rocky trail to Heartbeat Beach. We descend 101 wood rot steps, past sleeper waves postings, past riptide warning signs. And the ocean sounds loud today, louder than usual, different, deep-throated, deeper than rumble or roar. Not angry exactly, but no doubt about it, different. More like do or die determined, like it's a grandest, grumpiest, grand scale spaceship, like it's preparing for takeoff, perhaps having conspired with sister oceans to leave this earthly realm, escape this trash-choked death trap, to extricate, elevate, levitate out of its planetary hips, to catch the solar winds, to fall under the spell of other moons somewhere else in the limitless elsewhere. Meanwhile, we walk barefoot on the pebbly oatmeal sand, as if we were children, as if we were innocent, as if we were in another time, in another world. Identity theft. You've been a victim of identity theft countless times throughout your whole life. At first, the goody-goody gold star Catholic baby boomer boy, confessing non-existent sins. Next, the demon hormone-possessed absolution-eluding adolescent. Then, through the decades and the decadence and the decency too, and more method acting than Brando, and now this coughing, hacking old man whose doctor shrugs, yeah, it's going around. Might take a while to run its course. But who's been doing all this stealing? Have you been doing the stealing? Staging these identity thefts? Just can't help your thieving self? Just following the set in stone script, plus all the rewrites and improvisations too? You, the serial self-dramatist? The mystery within the mystery was the good guy identity always getting stolen by raging, Breaking Bad randomness? Or was it the bad guy identity always getting stolen by pluck and privilege and good dumb luck? The stolen identity, good or bad, it was always returned, sometimes damaged, often good as new, almost, as if nothing had happened, almost. No questions asked. Although now, yeah, now you're asking. Sounds the devil would make if the devil were real. Sounds of hostility, a privileged yawn, a gluttonous growl, grown-up tantrums, greedy, grabby, grabbing more, more, more. Sounds of joyless jeering, cackling mockery, all-consuming contempt. Sounds of a mob demanding dehumanization of others. Any others will do. Sounds of falsehoods slapping science in the face, punching history in the gut. False claims, false pride, false anything, false everything. Repeated and repeated and repeated. Sounds of immolation from planetary arsonists. The striking match, the toxic crackling flames. Wanderers, all of us. I wandered into childhood alone among so many other children exactly like me, among none like me, wide-eyed, silent, obedient, but not without sneaky streaks of narrow-eyed subversion. I wandered into adolescence alone among so many other adolescents, none like me, yet none unlike me. All of us so sure of what was what, none of us with even a clue, our script inscrutable and no improvisations allowed. I wandered into young adulthood alone, among so many other young adults, scared of nothing, nothing so much as scared to death of turning into our dying parents who had done nothing wrong except be themselves. I wandered into middle age alone, among so many others, wending through the workaday world, so sure, so cocksure, confident, convinced I was an exception, quadruple vaccinated. I would never fall victim to that cliche virus called midlife crisis. Oh, how terribly, terrifically, proudly, ashamedly, self-satisfyingly wrong I was. I wandered into retirement's golden, oldie, moldy years, now become supersonic, speedy, cloudy days alone, among so many other boomers burdened by pending vacancies, virility, vitality, having given notice, these clouds rolling, roiling, presaging end times storms, storms that will rage and raise and ravage, storms that will cleanse, storms that will erase. Early onset envy, still abiding a lifetime later. Those autumnal afternoons in 57 with neighbor, classmate, friendly rival Richie, waving to his airline pilot father driving the neighborhood's only T-Bird, lime with sage interior, to LaGuardia before flying into the wild blue yonder. Those wintry early morning rides to the sixth grade's gray nuns from Richie's strawberry blonde mother in the neighborhood's only Cadillac, emerald with jade interior, a flash of flesh beneath her honeydew robe. That spring of 58 lunchtime hour, two off-duty altar boys, so furtive, so mischievous, idly striking damp matches not damp enough, filling a vacant lot with wicked winking tiger eye flames. That sauna summer night, Richie and his parents, without a word, they're all gone on their one-way white flight from butchers, bakers, cops, and robbers, Queens, New York, to the grass is greener out of reach reaches of a foreign country called Connecticut. A lifetime later, still remembering neighbor, classmate, friendly rival Richie, his perfect penmanship, gold star report cards, starched bright white shirts, ox blood Oxford shoes, his gelled blonde pompadour, his hazel eyes, his magenta lips. And I'm going to conclude with this piece. This was my first published poem, exactly 7 years ago. A septuagenarian ex-Catholic atheist prays. Breathe in, hold breath. Breathe out, deepen breath, deepen life. Melt ego, find kindness, lose anger, lick wounds, jump for joy, sit with sorrow, stand for peace, foster hope, count blessings, reach for empathy, strive for civility, laugh freely, free from sarcasm. Breathe in this moment's peace, this nourishing breath, this forgiving breath. Breathe out, breathe, forgiven. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks again for this invitation. I'll have one more at the end. And much, much gratitude to all of you for listening.
Thank you, Robert. That was a wonderful reading. I'd like to invite everyone to unmute if you would like to make some noise and
way to go.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
beautiful.
way to go.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Reading, Robert.
Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Encore.
That I can't believe that was your first poem. It's quite astounding.
Oh my goodness.
Well, first published anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert. That was absolutely wonderful. Always look forward to you among many others, but I always look forward to what you're going to read on a Tuesday evening.
Thank you so much.
Ditto that. Just all the details are so evocative of different ages, and your ability to put into words, especially about the aging and all that stuff. Just really very impactful and really, really great. Thank you.
Robert, I enjoyed the music of your language and the beauty in terms of exact detail of your situations, and especially your droll humor. I just really like your poetry. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I love the way everything was dense and condensed, and all of the sounds that met each other in the middle of the poem and just magnified it. It was beautifully done.
Thank you.
Great job, Robert. Loved your alliteration.
Yeah.
Robert, I wanted to say something. Apart from enjoying just the deftness and the artistry and the way you worded your emotions, I just want to touch on something more important. I was simply awestruck by your sincerity and emotional honesty, by exposing all of our doubts, all of our longings. I can't imagine that anybody wouldn't be touched and prodded to examine themselves a little bit while reading or listening rather to your poems. And I can only say thank you. It really is, this presentation is really food for thought. Thank you for it.
Thank you so much, Myrna.
Well said, Miriam.
Yeah, I'll second.
Robert, I've always loved your work, and I'm looking forward to reading it shortly because I ordered 2 of your books today.
Right.
Thank you, Bob.
all right, well, Thanks, everyone, and thank you, Robert. It was a wonderful reading. We'll stop recording in just a minute. Those of you in the Zoom room, please stay online if you'd like to take part in the open mic. Thanks to all our YouTube listeners. Please tune in for our next regular Coastside poetry event on Tuesday, August 12th, when we welcome all of us in Coastside Poetry. We'll be an all open mic next month. So thanks so much for joining us at Coastside Poetry and for helping to keep the lamps of poetry burning.